Hi guys, welcome back to the Card In. We don't really upload YouTube videos anymore, but I've got an announcement to make. So I'll be speaking to the camera for about 12 minutes roughly, just to give you guys a lowdown of what I need to say. The title of this video is going to be TCI was a mistake, or maybe something a bit more clickbaity, like it's over, something like that. And basically, I see myself exiting the playing card industry either entirely or scaling down the card in to about 80% within the next year, 2 years. And the reason for this is basically a personal decision that I just need to change a lot of things in my lifestyle currently. I just want to do something different. To be completely honest with you, I've been doing the card in for right now 3.5 years. If you include eBay, selling on eBay before, at least 4 years bare minimum. And it's sort of been a full-time job for the last year. It's sort of, I don't know, it's not, I'm not sure what the term is, but it's something similar to clutching at straw. It's you could say to an extent it's been full-time, but it's a bit more than part-time, but it's not quite full-time. It depends what you classify as a full-time job. But our sales have gone up. They've doubled every single year as a minimum since we started in 2019. It's been a very good year in terms of sales. But there's a good saying by an ex-football chairman, Simon Jordan. He says he has a book and it's titled something along the lines of "Be careful what you wish for because you might just get it." And basically that was his reference of saying he's always wanted to have a football club. He inherited a football club, or he bought a football club. I mean. And sometimes you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And the carding has been a great experience, but like the video title or the caption says, TCI will be a mistake if I continue to sort of try and make this a full-time thing. It wasn't a mistake to start it. It was a fantastic idea. And has been extremely beneficial, but for someone in their mid-20s to work from home every single day by yourself in an industry it's not very, there's nothing really challenging. It's very little social aspects to it. There's very little challenge. We're just buying decks, selling decks. There's not that much to it, to be honest. I don't mean that in a I don't want that to come across in the wrong way, but there's not really any opportunities. We resell decks. We're gonna create our own. There's not that much. I don't know. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable experience for sure, but again, this is more of a personal thing. I want to go into a different field, and basically I can't work full-time doing something else and then do this, because you have to post orders between 9 to 5, which is when the post office is open, which is when I would be at another job, and I could get someone else to do it, but that's not overly feasible right now. We're not shutting up shop anytime soon, because we still have over 1,000 decks in stock, and that's going to take at least until the end of the year to get rid of the majority of that. We also still have great connections with First Shop, Orbit, other companies as well, and we still have a great and loyal customer base. So we're not just going to completely just shut in a couple months. We still want to be there for big releases. I still plan to have this shop open for another year, as a bare minimum, with the big releases such as Fontaine First, especially with shops where it's an issue to get things from the United States, where the UK customers can't get stuff. So that's why, recently we've been selling Vectech from First Shop. I think we're the only shop who sells that. So the UK guys. Now there is the small matter, or not so small matter, of we have our own Kickstarter on September the 25th. So it's going to be our first venture into creating our own playing cards. Now, there is a possibility that we might just do that. If it's something that I think is worth carrying on, and I have the motivation to do it, I might just create my own playing cards, and the card in shop will have like 10 other decks, like very popular decks. The current aim is to have TCI's had 200 plus different decks products in store basically all year. As a minimum, we're trying to reduce that down to 50. And I hate this word in the playing card community that some shops use, but it's going to be curated. We are actually going to curate cards now. So as of next year, we're going to look to have a catalogue of 50 decks maximum, really, which is very small, actually. But we are actually going to focus on specific brands. And that is mainly just to focus so that I can focus on something different. So yeah, I just want to speak a bit, for those of you that are still interested, I still want to speak about that little quote I made about the be careful what you wish for sort of thing. TCI was something I always wanted to be full-time and to earn a living and to be able to work for myself, mainly because I had bad experiences commuting into London 9 to 5. I had a few internships when I was about 22, when I just left uni. And I currently work for a football club. And there were parts, and I was kind of doing that full-time. I transitioned into working for this football club, more or less full-time, part-time, 3/4 full-time, which I still work for now, although less hours. There were aspects of that job that I didn't like. Like I had to go work in schools, and I absolutely hated that, which I don't do anymore. And it was things like that always gave me a sense of motivation to make TCI a full-time thing. And technically, TCI it's hard to, it all depends what you base it on, but TCI has probably generated enough sales for me to get by. But obviously, especially in today's climate with cost of living and everything, you don't want to just get by. And that is why I need to do something else. I also mentioned the lack of opportunities, the lack of challenge. After a couple years doing this, it is just the same old buy some decks, sell some decks. And a lot of the time, you just got stacks of decks on your shelf that don't sell. And the only way you're going to sell them is if you make them really cheap and you get rid of them or put them in mystery decks and so on and so on. So there is a lack of challenge in this industry, I think, now, and it's just a shame because there have been great content creators in the community that don't really do it anymore. Instagram changing their algorithms has played a big part in that. I don't know if this is just the life cycle of customers, but some customers we just don't hear from anymore. We used to do a lot of Instagram lives and stuff, and people don't really attend them as much anymore, or I don't know. It's just not quite, the industry's just not quite the same as it was, unfortunately. But yeah, just to reiterate, we're not completely falling off the face of the planet. We've got our own deck to produce, the Good Pals playing card, September the 25th. We're also down to our last 50 or so t-shirts from an original. We had about 200 to begin with. We're stopping that as soon as they sell. So you can get those where you can at goodpals.co.uk or the carding website. So we've got our deck to produce. We have over 1,000 decks in our inventory we still need to sell. We're still going to be around for the Chris Ramsey drops, the Orbit drops, Fontaine drops, because they've been very popular at TCI lately, especially at all the new Fontaines. Any Fontaine before 2022. People don't care about those anymore. So if you've got them in your collection, I'd get rid of them while you can. That's my advice. So yeah, I'm going on to do a master's, in a sport-related master's, because football is always something I've loved since I was 10 years old. It's the only constant hobby I think I've had since I was about 10 years old. Any other hobby has sort of tailed off, so I want to go do something different. I can't necessarily I currently coach football on the side as a other source of income, but I want to be working in some sort of business, marketing, journalism in sport, football perhaps. I can't get a job in that straight away. So TCI is still going to be here. And I've always kind of spoken about giving advice and or just basically just reviewing the process of how TCI became what it was. You know, our first year with TCI, we generated £3,000 in sales. This year, we've done over 100,000. That's not profit, by the way. That's just decks sold. Profits for playing cards not good. You know, if it was good, we wouldn't really be. We would definitely be sticking this out a lot longer. But so I've definitely grown this to a good level for me to be able to give advice on how other playing card resellers might benefit from learning a thing or two, but also for Kickstarter, especially if we have a successful Kickstarter. There's a lack of resources on playing card Kickstarter, so I would love to give advice onto this process of doing a successful Kickstarter and just a small little business shop like TCI. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I need to say, to be honest. If anyone's got any questions, just leave them down below. My DM is always open on Instagram if people want to chat. But yeah, I don't know. It's the playing card industry. We're not necessarily struggling with sales per se, but you just get a feeling within the industry that it feels a bit flat. There's not much motivation for me to carry on growing, because that's what we're not trying to grow. Every year we try to grow it. I've really planned and strategized how to grow it. I'm not going to do that anymore. We're descaling essentially as I transition into something new. And it is a transition. It's not just going to happen overnight. It's going to take. It'll probably still be a good year or so. But the industry just feels a bit flat. We'll have to see how creating our own playing cards goes. But my feeling of the playing card industry is that there's not really enough customers for the amount of for the bare minimum decks you have to produce, such as 1,000 decks. Or most people, I'll be honest, will want to produce 2,500 of USPCC, but it's, you know, there's people with big followings who produce that many and they struggle to sell, and that's not a criticism. It's like what I said, I don't think there is enough customers for these huge minimum order quantities you have to do with these Cartomundi USPCC and so on. And yeah, you know, we have some incredible decks in store. Like the Tale of a Tempest is a great example. We've been selling that recently at about £10 or £11, and no one touches it because it's kind of like these decks have a shelf life, and it's like there's not enough customers to really. I don't know. So many decks. We just have so many good decks that just sit on the shelves, you know, and it's just that's just business, I guess. So also let us know if you do want to. We did a TCI archives on my old personal YouTube. I'm probably gonna start doing like a TCI archives, maybe like 4 episodes, 1 episode per year of what TCI was, how it went in 2019, 2020, 21, 22, how we got to here. I guess that'd be quite cool. 1 episode per year, what happened, how did we grow, and this and that. And then maybe like a little Kickstarter series. But yeah, anyway, a lot of people. We've had some really great customers recently in the last year or so, and I don't really show my face anymore. So, huge thank you to anyone who's been a customer for the last year or two. I used to be on camera all the time in 2019, 2020, but the way Instagram has gone lately, it's posting content on Instagram, unless it's a reel, it's just kind of pointless now in terms of reach and this and that. So that's why we don't really do it anymore. But yeah, thank you to everyone who has always been a great support, whether that's financial, buying the decks, or just on social media, encouraging and being there, part of the journey. So yeah, that's it really. I don't really need to speak to the camera anymore. You probably got all you need to know. And that's that. September the 25th, Chancer's playing cards by Good Pals, available in a red and black edition with a couple gilded ones. September the 25th. It's a Sunday, and it'll probably be about 5 o'clock on Kickstarter, and that is released then. So, might be posting a couple videos this month about TCR archives and stuff like that. So, until then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later on.